child, farmer, the laborer, the artisan, the clerk, the officer, you and I, all of us are buying something or the other every day. We are all consumers. There were days when our needs were not many. Life was simple. No one ever thought in terms of a consumer, his rights or responsibilities. In rural areas particularly, people had enough time to produce many of the necessities of daily life. But gradually, with increasing population and increasing industrialization, life became more complex. Our wants increased. What were once considered luxuries became necessities. This transformation brought us to the age of alluring and aggressive salesmanship. The mass media was utilized as a powerful instrument, greatly influencing the purchasing habits of the people. Our basic need, food, was not excluded. The market was flooded with a bewildering variety of foodstuffs. Today, the greater part of our income is spent on processed foods. If the claims of all the enticing advertisements had any truth in them, perhaps by now the undernourished world would have been a thing of the past. But think for a moment of the money you're made to pay for all these expensive advertising gimmicks and attractive packaging. Most of the processed foods are made of wheat, milk, barley, malt, sugar, and the like. Are they not more easily available in their basic form at a fraction of the cost? We have only to learn to decide as to what is good and essential. Processed and preserved food are by no account better than a wholesome meal of wheat, ragi, milk, and fresh vegetable. A dangerous trend in recent times about which we as consumers are doing very little is the sale of adulterated food articles. Coffee mixed with tamarind seed powder, rice, ragi, and jawar mixed with stones, edible oil adulterated with harmful and even non-edible oils, cheap colors mixed with eatables like sweets. We frequently read in newspapers the tragic results of consuming adulterated food. The other day we read about some people in a suburb of Calcutta who were paralyzed after consuming adulterated mustard oil. This is not an isolated instance. Adulteration is not the only evil. A gullible consumer is an easy prey for an unscrupulous trader. Manipulating a balance, or tripping a can of frothy kerosene. A sleight of hand and you're taking home less than what you had paid for. Look out for false weights and measures. It would be in your interest to be aware of the tricks of the trade. Persuasive publicity has fostered a feeling among women that breastfeeding will impair the mother's figure. It is well established that nothing can be further from the truth. Ignorance and gullibility have combined to make even the poor believe that bottle feeding is better for the baby. It is indeed cruel to deprive the child of what it is entitled to, mother's milk. In our country, people buy every year medicines worth 900 crores of rupees. Prior to independence, they were being imported. Today, India produces most of the drugs. But a disquieting trend has been the widespread adulteration of drugs. Even life-saving drugs are adulterated. Greed knows no compassion. Empty tubes and bottles are filled with spurious drugs and palmed off as genuine to unwary consumers. Many a time with fatal results. Textiles are a fertile field for exploitation. Since polyester fiber revolutionized the textile industry, consumers are baffled by the countless brand names and infinite variety of cloth flooding the market. Cloth, branded as seconds by the mills themselves, are sold as superior varieties. Consumers are tempted by grand reduction sales with prices slashed by 20, 30, 50%. Eye-catching advertisements lure the consumer in hordes to such sales of the season. You yield to the dazzling colors and trendy cuts, and come away with what you think is a bargain. But come home and wash them. The clothes shrink, colors run. The dealer is richer, but are you the wiser? But the consumer is not left helpless. The Karnataka Consumer Service Society, in cooperation with the government of Karnataka, is striving hard to protect your interests while arranging exhibitions to educate. They are trying to ensure that you get the correct quantity and the right quality for the money you pay. The state government has appointed quality inspectors in city corporations and municipalities who conduct surprise checks frequently, either on their own or on complaints. Samples are taken, sealed in the presence of the sellers. They're examined thoroughly in the laboratories. Any adulteration, be it mixing ragi with stones, or using harmful coloring for jalebis, if proved, will lead to action under the law. The drug controller and his staff is always ready to deal with malpractices. Acting on information or complaints, he will conduct a search, seize the stock, and stop the sales of dubious drugs. Karnataka State has an excellent laboratory with highly sophisticated equipment in Bangalore to test the quality of drugs. Suspected drugs are tried on guinea pigs and rats. And if the suspicions are confirmed, punitive action is taken under the law against the manufacturers and sellers of the spurious drugs. The Department of Weights and Measures is another guardian of the consumer's interest. The department puts its seal on all weights used in trade. The measures used in selling kerosene, as well as other oils, are marked both at the top and bottom. Meter sticks used in measuring cloth also carry their seal. Taximeters, too, must have the authorized seal. The law of the land lays down that sellers should use only the weights and measures that carry the seal of the department. Check the weights and confirm that they bear the official seal. Ensure that vegetables are weighed in suspended balances only. Buy kerosene measured in cans which carry the authorized stamp. Buy packed goods wherever possible. Demand receipts for money paid. Buy medicines prescribed by a doctor and buy them only from licensed druggists. It is important to ensure that drugs are preserved in refrigerators. While buying cloth, insist on the meter stick being laid down on the counter. Before filling up your tank with petrol, make sure that when the pump starts, the meter arrow points to 0. Destroy the labels on empty bottles before disposing of them. When traveling by bus, do not accept an unpunched ticket, and don't return the ticket to the conductor while getting off the bus. Do you know you are losing a bus a day by doing that? It is estimated that with the loss of revenue sustained by the transport system through reusage of old tickets, one new bus can be bought per day for the public consumer. Destroy the ticket after your journey. Keep an eye on the way old papers are weighed when selling them. The seal of the Indian Standards Institution, ISI, is the symbol of quality. You will do yourself good if you buy goods with the ISI seal. Realization of responsibilities by a consumer has larger implications because a responsible consumer naturally makes a good citizen, acting not only in his own interest, but in the interests of society at large. Our house should be clean, of course, but our neighbor's compound should not be our dustbin, or we would be dirtying the whole town. Rubbish should be disposed of at places meant for them. Today there is a shortage of electricity and of drinking water. Let us take care not to waste them. Keep an eye on the leaking taps. Keep your vehicle in trim. Let us not add to the pollution already reaching dangerous levels. If possible, grow vegetables in your backyard. Plant a tree. Every good citizen has a right to a clean atmosphere, healthy food, warm clothing, and a good house. Let not apathy thwart these rights. In the assertion of these lawful rights, the government of Karnataka and the Karnataka Consumer Service Society stand solidly behind every citizen.